Hi, welcome everybody, it's Mike Newton down here at Linden Golf Club. We've got a really exciting head-to-head for you here with two new heavyweights for 2018 with the Callaway Rogue Sub-Zero driver, and I'm going to put that up against the new TaylorMade M3 in the 440 head. So M3 440, the smaller compact version of the M3. General M3 comes 460, this is the 440 head, so a little bit lower launch, lower spin. So the head and the Sub-Zero is again a little bit more compact head against the standard Rogue driver, a little bit more, again, lower launch, lower spin sort of characteristics. Now with the M3 I've got the weight setting on the bottom there towards the front, so front weight forward and the other weight is in that front section of that wide track now, the new wide track, and in the Sub-Zero I've got the heavyweight placed forward. So I've got them both in fairly what we class as a strong setting in terms of a low spin, low launch, because I know I need to get my spin as low as I possibly can. And we're going to see here, number one, which one hits it further. There may not be a massive difference between these two because they're all, as I say, pretty much maxed out in terms of ball speed off the centre hit. But maybe look at a little bit of dispersion as well here, because both brands here are sort of claiming that these are straight hitting golf clubs than the previous models. So with Rogue, a little bit more user friendly in terms of forgiveness, higher MOI sort of in terms of twisting and higher ball speeds across the face. Obviously M3 there with new twist face technology, slight high toe, low heel shots are supposed to be a little bit straighter. So we're going to put that a little bit to the test as well. So we're going to look at overall distance, dispersion, and then also a little bit of my personal feedback on maybe looks and feel of the two drivers as we hit through them. Okay, so we're going to start off with the Callaway Rogue Sub-Zero first. We'll hit a batch of shots here. Now set yourself up on Pebble Beach here on the 18th hole, very famous finishing hole here, US Open venue. So we're going to give you a bit of idea of fairways hit here. Hopefully I can hit some fairways on that dispersion side of things, as well as obviously that distance. So as I say, we're going to set off with Sub-Zero first. So I've got both these drivers set at 9 degrees loft on a sort of neutral face sort of position here. Okay, so we'll do this first one here. Okay, good solid strike on that first one there. Felt really sort of solid off the face. I've done a review on this on my channel already, so you can, I'll put a little link up and you can go and check that out there. But that feels a very sort of solid sound. It's quite a strong sort of flight on it as you visually see it. Oh, it's really solid. That felt great. Perfect little shape for this hole. It's that little bit of draw that's trotting away quite nicely there, pushing through that 300-yard marker there. So again, really nice sort of strike there, spinning that just over 2,000, I think 2-1 there, which was a nice sort of low spin number for me. So two good sort of drives there to start off with for the Sub-Zero. Okay, I lost my balance a bit on that one, but that's a long hit there. I've got that really good strike up that club face there. That's from now 340, and that's going to be a low spin one. Yeah, 1600 spin there. Definitely caught that on the right side of the club face there in terms of a little bit higher there, and that just pops that launch up and pulls that spin off, and that's when I get my sort of really long sort of numbers there. And again, it's another nice fairway sort of hit there. So gonna hang on that fairway. Yes, just okay. So that's just catching that left fairway. It's another good sort of long hit there. Some really good numbers there with Sub-Zero. Some very low spin numbers there. So and very consistent shot shaping there. So 4 shots I've hit there. I've hit the fairway in all 4, which is good for me. Okay. So we'll switch over into the M3 head here. Just then obviously pitch this up against Sub-Zero and see if we can get it as consistent. And that's going to take some beating, that, to be honest. But let's have a look. Okay, so we're now going to pop M3 440 drive in our hands here now. So obviously brand new driver out in the market, just like it is with Rogue, and that is one very good looking golf club. I think for me, I'm a big fan of the look of that. I think the silver looks really good now against the black as opposed to the white. Tones are a lot better. Obviously got the carbon effect on the top. Obviously the 440cc head, it's that little bit more compact sort of look, and it sits really sort of quite powerful behind that golf ball. Let's get this first one a hit. I'm dying to give this a hit, see how this sort of performs. Oh, feels superb. Hit that one really well. Flight looked really good there. That's just trotting up over that 300 mark here, so not as maybe as long as the Callaway one there. Spun at 2.4, so spin just crept up a little bit. Just looking at strike there, maybe just a tiny little bit lower in the club face, which is probably where that spin just come up and then just slightly dropped off there. But 300 is a very, very good hit. I take that all day long. And the thing I'm hitting fairway as well here is obviously a big bonus. Feels really explosive off the club face. That's just going to catch that tree. Oh, cut that tree. Who put a tree in the middle of a fairway? Hey, you wouldn't have thought of it, that. Okay, so that's hit that tree there. So that's just killed mid-distance a little bit. That was carried sort of mid-270s. Might have crept up to 280 there if I haven't quite caught that branch there. But again, it's a pretty straight golf shot. But maybe just seeing a slight fade bias to this particular club in the M3 against that Sub-Zero for me personally there, which is obviously just going to change those distance numbers a fraction there. But again, I'm hitting fairway. So we'll hit one more shot with the M3, then we'll check into some numbers a little bit more detail. Feels great, I've nailed that. I've got my cut on that one, so should see a slightly different number there. So yeah, it's trundling over that 300 mark, 304 there. That was a really nice stride. That last one spinning at 2.2. Okay, so let's go and have a look at some numbers a little bit more detail and just see if there's any separation between that Sub-Zero in the Rogue against the M3 and the 440 head. Okay, let's have a look at dispersion rings first. So the red ring was the Callaway Sub-Zero. The white ring was the M3. So definitely tighter shot dispersion with Sub-Zero. I hit the same shape of shot with each of those drives there, which was that little draw. And to be honest, on this hole, the way the hole sort of slopes a little bit this way, hitting that little draw shape does catch that run out quite nicely. So as you saw with that last one with the M3. So hit them all very much the same with the Sub-Zero, so very tight dispersion there. As you could see, I just got that little bit more fade bias with the M3, a couple that would just fade a little bit. Obviously that one hit the tree, that just took a little bit of sting off that. But to be honest, I just realised that all of those hit the fairway, which is very good for me. So all fairway finds there. So look at some numbers a little bit more detail. So a smidge more clubhead speed with M3. Ball speed quite similar. Smash pretty good. Launch pretty much the same area, but there you can see that Sub-Zero is just spinning a little bit less there at 1.847 against the TaylorMade M3. Now obviously I've got an option of just popping that, if I just grab the club here, just popping that front weight just a little bit more forward, so that back weight on the left hand side there, I could shove that right to the front and that could just shave a little bit off that spin number there, but obviously it's just spinning a touch higher as we see it from that particular test there. Peak height, so 10 a little bit higher with the M3 there, 28 against 25. Again, different shape of shot will make that difference there. And carry distance just 5 yards shorter than Sub-Zero. Again, shape of shot. If I hit the same shape with the M3 that I did with the Sub-Zero, that right to left draw shape, that spin will come down a little bit and that number will creep up. They're probably edging same sort of area. But again, I had that one that caught the tree there, which took a bit of sting off that. That one would have been probably just trotting over the 300. So it's similar there, carry. Maybe even a little bit more carry because obviously it caught that branch and just pulled it up a little bit short there. So that probably average would just creep up a little bit more, maybe. So all in all, fairly similar sort of numbers. Distance-wise, Sub-Zero's just edging it there, but they all hit the fairway yet again, which is very impressive. Okay guys, so there we go, two sort of real beasts for 2018 there in the Rogue Sub-Zero M3 440 head. So these two drivers are really aimed at the golfers who want to get their spin down, who's got some speed, who's maybe trying to get this launch down a little bit. Again, there's a lot of shaft options through fitting, dialing in of head, obviously weight positionings here, so there's a lot to sort of dial into, fine tune it into your sort of swing. But for me, that test there between those two, we'll start on looks first. Both, I love the look of both of them. Very different looks, but I love both of them. You know, the Sub-Zero, I've got the Epic Sub-Zero in my bag at the moment. The Rogue there, just a tiny bigger footprint there in terms of the size of it, but a great looking golf club. That carbon effect on the top. TaylorMade, I'm a big fan of the look of those, and I think that silver is miles better than the white. Just gives it a very classic sort of, or not classic, but a quality sort of look and finish to the head there, and sits really nice and square, nice compact head. In terms of feel, probably quite similar, to be honest. The sound of it was fairly similar, and you're generally sort of seeing this now with this titanium composite mix, that slightly more muted sort of sound there. So this felt a little bit sort of muted on the sound. I'd maybe, if anything, say the TaylorMade was a little bit harder off the club face than Sub-Zero. Okay. In terms of performance there, distance, obviously on that test, Sub-Zero won that. A little bit to do with the shape of the shots there, but they were all consistent, and that took it on the distance there. Spin numbers very similar, just a little bit more than M3. Again, shape of shot was a little bit different. So those numbers could quite easily change, just changing shape of shot, down in the weights, face setting, etc. like that. But I think, you know, definitely, if I had to choose between those two, this is going to be a real tough one. I think because of the consistency, I'll go Sub-Zero. Okay, I do love the look of that M3, but I'll probably go Sub-Zero there on the consistency of the shape of shot. End of the day, that's what we're looking for as golfers, is consistency. They all hit fairways there, but if you can hit the same shape of shot every single time, you know what it's going to do out on that golf course, which is a big factor. Okay, guys, thanks very much for watching. Do comment down below what you think between those two drivers there. I think these are going to be sort of big hitters for 2018 in terms of golfers wanting to try these products. Let me know your thoughts. Do comment down below. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the little bell icon so you get notifications of future videos. Follow me on social media platforms. All the links are in the description down below, and hopefully I'll catch up with you all very soon.